Well, hello again there, YouTube. It's Petey, and I would like to personally take the time to thank you for joining me once again for the latest episode of MailBag. MailBag, what's in the mailbag with Petey? So we've got Teda Electronics. Teda Electronics, what could it be? Teda Electronics is a company that you can order electronic components from. And when I mean components, I mean resistors, capacitors, transistors, integrated circuit chips, op amps, diodes, knobs, potentiometers, chassis. They sell guitar pedal chassis that are powder coated professionally and pre-drilled. So this is a great service, and they're pretty fair with their shipping and reasonable. Oh, look at this, the knobs. These are, you always get this, Teda. They used to have sales. They'd have 15% off. Okay, so here is a typical Teda bag. And they come with aluminum black 10 by 8 millimeter. And there's a quantity of 8. So this was, I had received a Teda order, and one of the things that I like to do is pull up a PDF of that order and then go through and make sure that everything is there. Because 2 times now I've been short. Actually, one time they shipped me the pedal chassis, but they were the wrong size. I ordered like this size, like kind of longer and wider, and what I got was narrow and tight, like the real small one. And it was a shame because I had a quantity of like 8. I was like, I'm gonna buy a bunch of these boxes and have them, and I won't have to worry when I'm making pedals. I'll have them in stock. And then they sent me all the wrong ones. So here, these are the knobs. These are really small knobs, and I have some projects here that have used much larger knobs. These are really small, and they're going to be wonderful for projects where you don't have so much room. Now, is this what I think it is? I am just, what? Oh, here they are. Here they are. Excellent. These are what are known as switch toppers. And if it's a true bypass style guitar pedal, they have these foot switches. Which they're about 3/8 of an inch in diameter, the guitar pedal switch. This piece here enlarges that, and it just makes it more convenient. So there is 2 set screws on this piece. These are $1.50 a piece. And it fits over the switch top. I'm curious if this is a 1.5 mil. Honey, would you give me my 1.5 mil? There's a blue handle Allen driver. It's over here by my coffee.
Oh, that.
That, yeah. Let's see if this is. Right now I ordered one of these. Yeah, it is. It is. So I ordered one to try it out on a device that has 3 of these switches. So you can see, as of now, I've got 1, and then these other 2 are without the switch toppers. So let me install one. I'm going to loosen the set screw on both sides a bit, but carefully so I don't lose the set screw. Don't want to pull it out too much. And now I've got it installed, I can go ahead and tighten this set screws up. Now what I had failed to consider when I did this, you need to hit both of these, hold both of them down to activate the tuner, to tune your instrument. And they're basically, this button here is down, this button is up. So in here on the screen, there's a whole list of the sounds, individual patches. So for each song, I will name that. You start off with the first song, and then you play it and you're done. So you go up to the next song in the list. And that's how it works. Now the control button has a dual purpose. In the secondary function is combining it with the up button to activate the tuner. So when you hold both of the buttons on the right side down simultaneously, you will turn the tuner on. But the control button on its own will select scenes. There is 3 scenes available per patch. So the patch being the song, and you set up, you'll connect this via a USB cable to your computer, and you set up, like you'll type in the name of the song and the spot for the patch, hit enter, and then you choose the amplifier, you choose the speaker cabinet, you choose the microphone. This is all virtual representations of these tools that exist in real life. Like 1969 Marshall Plexi 100 watt amp, just like Hendrix used. Whatever speakers, Shure SM57, or you want to use a U87 Neumann condenser mic, you know. And then there's the pedals, whatever Ross distortion, Boss DS1, JHS Morning Glory, and so on and so forth. It's quite a few options that you have in here. You program that using your mouse. And then let's say the song is, there's 3 parts to the song where it begins, and then there's a lead solo, and then it goes back to playing like you did in the beginning. So that control, what I can do is scene 1, I would set my pedals up and maybe have a booster to make the guitar 3 dB louder, and then an echo box to have an echo when I play the solo. So you would assign that to scene 2, and you access that scene by hitting control. So when the solo is over, I hit control again, and that can take me to a 3rd scene or back to the 1st scene, which would mean just bypassing the boost and the delay. So you can control multiple effects, turning them on and off with these scenes with this single button. So in effect, playing live would be you just advance to the next song you're playing, change scenes back, or to a third scene and then back, and then advance to the next song. So it's nice because you can do all the work in advance, and then when you're performing live, you don't have to think so much about, or like, okay, I'm switching to the section for the guitar solo, but my foot can only do one thing at one time, so I need to go over to the boost pedal hit that on and play the first note of the lead, and then the second note of the lead, I need to turn the delay on, and then or the echo box, when that lead is done, you would need to shut the echo off and then shut the boost off, and you might be a little late, and have some echo ring out, or the volume you're playing a little louder because you don't have multiple feet unless you're sitting on a stool, and then you're limited to 2. So it's using something like this. Of course, nothing is going to beat a pedal board where they're all out in front of you and you could just adjust as you go. There's pros and cons to both ways of doing it. And as far as what's better, it's just your own personal preference. This is a lot easier because there's a single power supply and single cables going in and out. So for that, it's easier. And there's guys, if you use these, guys will go, yeah, you're going to get better sound if you have a tube amp and pedals. Well, that may be true, but really the only people who's paying attention to that, it's not the casual listener. There's no casual people that go to see a band who, let's leave, that guitar player is not using a real tube amp. You know what I mean? It's like it's only the guitar players really care about this stuff, and it's kind of become a huge thing. Is like the amount of guitar pedal demos and channels that are dedicated to this, guys who review this stuff, and it's fine. It's fine. That's great that we have all of this information available to us. That can only empower us as musicians. But when it turns into a thing and you start like judging, like, well, this guy, he's using one of those all-in-one multi-effects things, and that's fine if you're some little kid in your bedroom. But I'm a real rock and roller in a real band, so I need and that may have been true going back in time when these devices, the difference was more negligible. You could hear this multi-effect unit maybe didn't sound as good as using $5,000 worth of boutique pedals. Now in 2022, these devices they figured out how to make them sound really good. So the difference isn't so much that you can hear anymore. You know what I mean? And it's more people are using these things, and it's easier for you to admit using them without having people pointing and laughing. Because really, at the end of the day, the gear shouldn't define you as a musician. That's the job of your music, should define who you are as a musician. That's my theory anyway. So thank you for joining me again for another exciting issue of MailBag. I realize this one wasn't very exciting. Just some miniature knobs and then some switch toppers, bigger knobs. I am going to be installing these switch toppers on my wife's pedal board. She likes to wear Vans when she plays because certain types of shoes just work better for turning pedals on and off. And Vans are really good pedals for musicians. Vans are really good shoes for musicians who are turning pedals on and off because of the shape of the toe and the flatness of the sole. you have to be careful. Some of these pedals are small, and if you go in there with your boot and you turn them on and off with the in the middle of your boot, you're liable to bump the knob. And bumping a knob and turning it up for on the volume can be the difference between a blown speaker or not. So these switch toppers are a little bit more insurance policy and making things easier for my loved one. So you don't really want to spend more than $1.50 a piece for these, because that's what they cost at Tata. I've seen them for a lot more. All right, you guys, thanks again for joining me for Mailbag. We'll talk to you guys soon. If you haven't yet checked out any of the live remote music stuff, we've got 2 songs up, 4 songs up, 4 songs from the remote. Wolf Stack Lightning, the Robin song, Last Laugh, and Baby Ducky. 4 brand new pieces of music. Not really. 3 of them are. 1 is old. So check that out. I'm doing a great album series, which are longer and more chatty, but we did the White Album and I did Faith No More Angel Dust, which did not upload. There was a hard drive disconnect itself. I think it might be the heat. Now that it's warming up, this hard drive is acting up on me, and I ended up deleting that file, not realizing that it hadn't uploaded. So I redid that video today. It's uploading now. If you want to check out some music, you're not familiar with the Beatles' White Album or Faith No More's Angel Dust, I'm making videos on what I would consider great music albums. So that should be fun. You can check that out. Try to keep yourselves cool, and peace.